Good afternoon, Vanguards. My name is Jaren, and I am the Director of Public Relations for VITREUS. I'd like to welcome you to today's Tech Talk. We are grateful you are here and excited for today's broadcast. From VITREUS, I am joined by our CTO Tim and our Director of Product Design, Taylor, not to be confused. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to VITREUS. Our permissioned business-to-business blockchain will marry a niche market of the financial services sector with the next generation of ledger technology, which will aid in the automation of compliance-oriented tasks. Accompanying our ledger infrastructure is a series of high-powered data and financial services tools designed specifically to digitize everyday processes for our clients' companies. Furthermore, we have developed a publicly accessible, decentralized proof-of-stake parachain called PowerPlant, which enables users to actively contribute to the growth of our ecosystem while earning additional VTRS tokens. Today, we are joined again by our friends at innowise. innowise is our product development partner, and we are thrilled to have the opportunity to continue to shine some light on them here shortly. Lastly, if you are new to VITREUS, you can visit our website, vitreus.io, to read our white paper and learn more. We begin our pre-sale on June 17th, but we will discuss that in depth later on in this stream. Now I want to turn it over to Tim. Tim, take it away.
Thank you, Miss Jaren. Vanguards, I am thrilled to be here with you today. We have a lot of wonderful and exciting things that we are going to discuss. We've been very busy building in the background, and I cannot wait to get these pieces into your hands. But before we start, I'd like for everybody to formally introduce themselves. So Taylor, would you start with your background and what we've been working on from your perspective? Then we'll go to Alexander and Andrew.
Yeah, so I'm Taylor. I'm the Director of Product Design here with VITREUS. I've worked on all the systems diagrams, communicating with innowise, writing all the paperwork, doing all the fun stuff associated with getting this up off the ground over to innowise so they could build it and make it awesome for us.
Perfect. Alexander?
Okay, I'm Alex. I'm a solution architect in innowise. I have around even more than 20 years of IT experience and a lot of different background in blockchain. I'm really excited working with VITREUS on this revolutionary product, and it is actually really excited, and we are glad to be here with you.
Thank you. Andrew.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Andrew. I'm blockchain consultant and domain expert in innowise. I'm working with blockchain science more than 5 years now. Yeah, and I provide my expertise to the team, provide my expertise to the VITREUS team also to build the most advanced solution that I know. Yeah. And I really appreciate to be here.
Wonderful. So Vanguards, the three gentlemen that you just introduced themselves have spent the better part of the last 2 months designing and implementing the world's most advanced blockchain. And we'll get to why it's revolutionary. But today what I want to unveil is really 4 areas. The first being PowerPlant. PowerPlant is a compliant, publicly accessible blockchain. The word compliant meaning we have done great diligence on our side to ensure that we know how to navigate the jurisdictions and the different regulatory changes that are happening in the United States. And we're very excited that we have learned from what's happened in the industry, and we're able to stay ahead of that and continue to move forward with these innovations. The second being our vNode. Our vNode is a geographically decentralized validator nodes. This is going to change the way layer 1 networks operate. It is truly going to make that sure that our chain is reliable, stays within the 3 tenets of a proof of stake operative threshold definitions. So liveness, finality, and safety. Third, we are very excited to launch Cyber ID, our self-sovereign ID for our VITREUS ecosystem. This will allow a zero knowledge proof self-sovereign KYC identity for you to interact with different aspects of the entire VITREUS ecosystem. And we have partnered with a very powerful global provider in order to make this as seamless at launch later on in the summer. And finally, our presale and claiming portal. We are very excited about this because VITREUS is a token that is not a security or a currency. It's a utility commodity that powers the entire VITREUS blockchain ecosystem. Now, moving into what these products are, I would like to open this up to the vNodes. So the vNodes are essentially going to be small aspects of computers that you put inside your house. It's meant to simplify blockchain. It is a plug and play technology for everyday users. You simply unbox it, plug it in, and you're validating. The validator nodes, or the vNodes, are the center of VITREUS, which they're required for the network, but not every person has to have one. We made them very simple and very accessible. You can benefit from acquiring a vNode by hosting your node for users without one to stake into. You can earn yourself larger sum of V energy than you would by participating in somebody else's vNode. Now, this is a very revolutionary topic that I want to open up to Andrew, Taylor, and Alexander. Would you guys mind, Taylor, kind of starting out why this is so revolutionary, why we decided to design it this way, and what it will provide from a traditional layer one like Ethereum or Solana?
Yeah, so the vNode's very, very cool. You've seen the picture. That's what we're aiming for. Basically, blockchain validation in your hand, in your house, simplified, plug and play, ready to go, right? Right now, it takes a certain degree of technical understanding and networking understanding, et cetera, to get up and running with validating Ethereum or these other things. So by simplifying and creating an automation process inside of an appliance that we can simply deliver and then have connect to our already secure environment from a zero trust aspect, allows people with very little or no knowledge of these key elements to get involved with something that's going to be moving the industry forward.
And what is the minimum staking requirement, Taylor?
1 VTRS.
Right.
Get up
so
and
Andrew,
going.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Andrew and Alexander, as you know, right, when we look at other, staking operations across the layer one networks, Ethereum is 58,000, Aptos is almost 8.2 million. So, when we launch these vNodes and it's just, you take this node, you plug it in, how big of a revolution do you think that is, or how transformational do you think that is, Andrew and Alexander?
Okay, the truth is that it's really hard to start your own node. I mean, from technical skills, from technical perspective, anytime you have to start additional programming, additional languaging, etc., and it's really hard to run your own node on your own computers. And we want to change it, and we will, yeah. And it's just the simplest way how to build it. We're thinking about it how if Granny just buy our own node and running it maybe without any technical expertise, without difficulties, it will be the best option. And moreover, because a lot of small nodes will distribute it all around the world, it will be really decentralized system, really decentralized solution. And we think that it will be a new gold standard for all of future blockchains. And I'm really appreciate that we started it like we are the first who try to implement it.
We are. This is the first, right? And that's where we've been talking about these patents for a while now, and we're actually at the point where we're implementing. So, Alexander, let's say you buy a vNode, you plug it in, then what happens?
Okay, so I can briefly describe. So you should have a simple UI which you can use. So it will be either web-based or mobile-based. You can easily connect to your vNode, and you can easily manage, run it, stop it, whatever. you might need. And also because we know that it's kind of like black box for you, so it will be done the way that you don't need to worry about the future maintenance. So we will implement the forkless upgrade. So this is different from the, for example, Ethereum, where most of the upgrades are done using hard forks, and it can be painful. But here we can easily upgrade, and all the nodes will have a new implementation with a lot of nice features here.
So simply put, I don't have to worry about being in the business of being a validator. This is an appliance. I plug it in, I connect it to my wallet, and I am able to immediately become an entrepreneur as an operator. And the staking pool that's tied to the vNode, you can you can invite other users to join that. So Taylor, let's talk about how excited we are about where you don't even have to own a vNode to be able to stake. We've also, come up with options around that as well.
Yeah, so it's very important to us to allow everybody to participate if they want to, right? VTRS as a utility commodity token, it's responsible for generating V energy within power plant. So to do that, you stake in a vNode. But what if you don't have a vNode? That's okay. People with vNodes host theirs, make theirs available through smart contracts for others to delegate their VTRS into, so that their contribution ends up as part of that vNode, right? So allowing everybody to participate, whether they own a vNode, they don't own a vNode, is very, very important to us moving forward. This also helps accessibility, right?
Yeah, inclusion is very important for us. This the reason why we want to simplify this is to create a true ecosystem. And Jaron, we will be putting out some more information on this in the community, correct?
Yes. So we actually recently brought on a director of community education, Drew. Shout out to Drew. And he is he hangs out in the community, sees where maybe something needs to be simplified, because we know that our project is very tech heavy, and he is going to be working on some videos and some educational material for the community to kind of break these topics down into easier digestible information. So videos, those types of things. So keep an eye out for that. And I know he is working on one for the nodes, and the nodes are definitely my most exciting thing I'm most excited about. I love that they are so inclusive. If you don't want to buy a node, you can still participate. And if you are a go-getter and you want to have your own node business, you can do that too. So we're both really excited about it.
Jaron, you're definitely going to be a vNode entrepreneur, I can tell.
Oh yeah, totally going to have one.
Great. So the vNodes, they're distributed. Everybody has plugged them in. The proof of stake network is running. Let's talk about the blockchain itself, power plant. So this is another aspect of design that we've been really working on for the last 2 months. And so what happens here is expansion will yield opportunity. The growth of VITREUS dynamically and directly expands the opportunities for V energy. So another really cool and dynamic piece is the entire ecosystem is meant to benefit as it's expanded and used. So on our business side, there's a tie-in, right, to what we're building on the publicly accessible power plant side. And the reason why that's so wonderful is this really stays true to the spirit of crypto. And as I mentioned earlier, the fact that we have ensured that this is a commodity and it is a utility token allows you all to use the staking as a reward system throughout the V energy and the VITREUS community. And so this is not, the technology itself is cool and it's revolutionary, and we want to make sure that it's very simple to use. But what we're most excited about is the expansive capacity within the ecosystem itself, which is really what matters within our community, and the ability to grow and interact with different aspects. So with that, Andrew, I would like for you to explain kind of the blockchain, how it would expand, and power plant itself, and why you and Taylor and Alexander designed it in that way.
Okay, with pleasure. The truth is that power plant, it will be like absolutely EVM compatible blockchain. Yeah, I think that you all know, but in case if not, it's meaning that we will run some smart contract, yeah, on the Ethereum network, and it will work directly. It will be like it will like blockchain that will connect to all of other parachains. It will also stay and work like a parachains with substrate ecosystem in our VITREUS project, but it will contain additional functionality, and it will be absolutely open for end users. I mean, anyone will come, and if they want, they will run then their own smart contract, create some DEXs, maybe create some tokens, provide some, I don't know, maybe other assets, and maybe in a case if some business decided that I don't want to start my own parachains for like from global perspective in the VITREUS ecosystem, it will be okay to start some maybe small businesses inside this power plant. Yeah.
So did I hear you say that this is EVM compatible? Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. So I want to maybe provide the words to Alexander, and he will add more details.
So Alexander, would you please explain how significant this EVM compatibility is as far as the expandability of our ecosystem?
Yeah, so our whole ecosystem is based on the what we mentioned already, substrate framework, which is like a cool, modular, secure, proved by a lot of large projects. But we also understand that the DeFi world, the NFT world, which a lot of people like, still requires some more user adoption. So this is why we taken into account this EVM compatibility, but it still not restrict us and the potential businesses which will be integrate by using other runtimes. So it can be any kind of runtimes, not only EVM. So any need which will be required by a kind of business can be satisfied this way. And moreover, this framework and this approach allows us to like complete interoperability between different parachains, so we can have some cross-chain transaction, we can do some swaps, we can easily do the bridges between different components of the system. Even we allow, for example, in main VITREUS platform, like multiple businesses, one EVM compatible and another one non-EVM compatible, to easily interact with each other. Yeah.
So is it safe to say that this, again, is revolutionary from the perspective of, if I'm a Web3 developer, and Taylor, this is directed at you, and I'm used to Ethereum, and I want to start, being entrepreneurial within VITREUS, what does that mean for me? Because I'm already staking, I've got my V node. Now I'm like, okay, this blockchain is EVM compatible. I've got relay chains. What does that mean for me?
That means you can do a lot of stuff that you're already probably familiar with doing. So,
right.
And that plays into a future product that we'll talk about later on. But yeah, that means we're open for business for people who are familiar working with the space, operating in the space. We're not foreign territory in our DeFi offering here. We're new, but we're not foreign to what you're used to.
So to a point that you had made before about having, you come in, you have your node, you're interacting, you're building on power plant. For all of the access into power plant as a user or a builder, you do have to have a cyber ID, correct?
You do. Yes. And that goes, so Jaron, that goes back to the reason why is that's a compliance aspect, right? And it does a couple things. Not only does it gets rid of some of the language like the SEC is using. Well, you didn't know who your investors were. So that's know your customer. It's an anti-money laundering global standard, and it just has to happen. Now, It does not mean that you are giving out your identity holistically. You still have a self-sovereign ID that you control in your wallet, and you use zero-knowledge proofs to prove who you are. Now, in the future, that's going to be really important when it comes to tokenized and digitalized assets, because as on the business side, as we start interacting with financial institutions that want to put those assets out there, that allows the automation of that ecosystem through different pieces. Now, we're going to be building that longer term, but this is the foundation to be able to create a true ecosystem where you can use your self-sovereign identity to interact compliantly with digital assets in an automated fashion through smart contracts, relay chains, and oracles, which is really the standard of where tokenization is happening.
So when you say self-sovereign ID, when I go and I interact with the chain, it doesn't say, hey, Jaron Holmes is doing this. It would say some ID
you're still down the rabbit hole, Rabbit. You're still Rabbit. Nobody knows you're Jaron. Absolutely.
I mean, to some people, that's important. We do want to be compliant, but we do, you know, to some people, that pseudo-anonymity is a very important, you know, one of the reasons why they're here in DeFi and crypto. But it is cool that, you know, we're towing the line between innovation, between regulation, and still having a little bit of an, you know, privacy. So that's
yeah. Pseudo-anonymous is the spirit of crypto, but decentralized identity is a part of DeFi. Yes. And that is what the self-sovereign.
It's going to be a bigger part as it goes.
Right. So in speaking in the language, it's self-sovereign identity. It enables the decentralized aspect where you can use a zero-knowledge proof to prove who you are without having to give out that personal identifiable information. And it's still compliant. And no Gerard Geslingers or whatever his name is can come after you and say, you were whatever that guy's name is. That's what that is.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. So we talked about the V node. We talked about staking. We talked about the fact that it's a revolutionary, you know, decentralized geographic network. We talked about. Is there
anything that in those topics that we might have missed that you guys feel like you wanted to touch on that we should go back, you know, anything we missed before we move on?
Just maybe we want to add that because of it will be fully EVM compatible, because of it we also can invite some big companies and big projects to come in, you know, and implement some stuff from VITREUS ecosystem. For example, some, you know, famous oracles like Chainlink, why not? Chainlink. You know, or Uniswap, also SushiSwap. What do you want? We can say, okay, we're also EVM compatible. Please implement your project on our blockchain. It's impressed and it's cool, really.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I was getting to. I really feel like we can finally take a breath and get back to, you know, being this community of what we've built, and we don't have to worry about, you know, what the regulatory changes will be because we're ahead of those, right? So that's a wonderful for the communities. Moving on to, because I want to make sure we have enough time for questions. Let's see here. So I want to talk about the presale and the claiming portal, right? And reinforce that this token is not a security or a currency. It's a utility commodity. And so our presale, we're excited about this because it gets it allows us to, you know, open this back up to you all to be a part of this. So Jaron, do you want to just talk about what we're doing, the presale itself, and then Taylor kind of maybe go over the schedule and what that means?
Yeah. So we are actually doing a little something different with our presale. It doesn't stop. It just progressively changes as we go. So they will run in 2-week phases, and there will be 10 levels. So starting next week on the 17th, we will go live with our presale. Each level, so 10 levels, each level will last 2 weeks. Any unsold tokens from each level will be pushed to another level. I believe
the phases continue, right? They just continue on.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Yep.
We're going to, I believe we're starting at 0.225 for the first level. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Taylor's shaking his head, so that's yes, that's right.
And it's going to progressively increase into our launch price, which will be 5 cents. Yes.
Right. And this is a discount, right?
Yes.
VTRS is 5 cents, and we're offering you this opportunity to this declining discount to get involved with Vitreous at this earliest opportunity, right? So starting on the 17th, at approximately 10 a.m. EST, we
Nice
will
work.
be going
Approximately.
approximately. We'll be going live with level 1. Level 1 will run for 2 weeks. If it
Yep.
sells out before that, it's still 2 weeks before the next one's going to open up. If
Right.
there's unsold tokens, they're going to get pushed to level 10, and we're just moving. You know, Chad says we're the train, and we keep going. Choo
Yes.
choo, let's go.
Yep. We travel at the speed of Chad for sure. Absolutely.
Try to keep up with Chad.
Yeah. Good luck. So I want to reinforce one thing. This is not an idea at Vanguards. We are building this. It is very much underway. We have seen our Genesis blocks. We are writing blocks. We have seen the interfaces. So the smile on my face is indicative of how excited I am. So with that, I would like to make sure we have enough time for the community, Jaren. So maybe can we
Yes.
open it up to some questions?
Yes, I did. I know there was some points that we had talked about with the app. innowise had come in. We had handed them our minting machine.
Oh yeah.
And that they had come in and did a little bit of redesign on the app and the claiming portal. Can you guys touch on that really fast before we go into questions?
Sure.
Okay, I will try to do it, as fast as possible.
No, don't rush.
Okay. Yeah, we already redesigned app for minting process for sure. We updated the smart contract. We already finished it. Yeah, because a new version of smart contract will support few rounds, one after one, and to provide the possibilities to buy VTRS when you want. Yeah, for sure. But the coolest thing here is a claiming portal. We call it this way. You can think about it like about some bridge, one-way bridge from Ethereum network to the VITREUS network. And we already we already prepared some design for this and already started to working on the smart contract for this claiming portal. Yeah.
Yep. We saw it this morning. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that claiming page is
Yes, it is.
You guys are going to love it.
Okay, so we will go into the questions. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat box, and I will work off of that. We did have some individuals send us some questions ahead of time, so we're going to run through those really quickly, and then we'll get to the questions in chat. So if you have any, go ahead and drop them in there. We'll go on those after we go through the ones that we already have listed out. So the first one that I have is, will the V node be available for purchase in both the United States and international? Because we have a lot of international holders or community members who want to get their hands on them.
That is a great question. So the answer is absolutely yes. We have already determined that we have international logistics, both for manufacturing and supply chain. We can ship to over 192 countries, and that is already in the works. We have already decided on our hardware and our branding, and all of that has been confirmed. So one of the big things that we've been working on, in addition to the technologies that we talked about, is also our partner ecosystem. And we have a full global distribution system and logistics system behind us. So yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming that like the taxes or shipping costs will be wrapped into whatever the cost is when we announce that. Okay.
Yep. So another aspect of that is a lot of this will happen in country. So we'll have some warehousing that will be in certain geographies. So in some cases, we'll be able to avoid VAT and currency and other things by coming from a different country. So we'll work through that. But yes, all of that will be handled within the cost of the V node. Yes.
Okay. And I know we had some people asking for cost. We have not nailed that down yet. One of the things is I know you guys, they've talked about it a lot in the news, that there's been kind of an ongoing chip shortage, which is definitely not made things easy. So we are still working with Shift on nailing down what that cost will be. And once we have that, we will make sure everybody knows.
I can give you a preview. It is not thousands of dollars. It is
Yes.
within hundreds of dollars. And it is our source is very well supplied, and we have already secured the supply for the first round.
Yes. And the first round is how many?
Roughly 300.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Does having a V node in different parts of the world offer an advantage or disadvantage?
A very strong disadvantage. You want geographical decentralization within your layer 1 network for sure. And this is also going to provide a natural ecosystem for the proof of stake networking itself. So the more geography, the better, and the more countries, the better.
Yes. So, but to the actual user, there is no disadvantage to being, in Texas versus.
Nope, absolutely not.
Okay, let's see. All right. So we did come out and say that if you were to purchase 300,000 VTRS, that we would give you a node for free. You would have to claim it. And that is over the course of the upcoming 10 rounds. Will that ship in the first round of nodes, or do we have any idea? Will they be a separate round of nodes?
Well, the nodes themselves will be, the schedule will be to be determined, but we want to obviously base it around the presale. It's just a matter of, the learning aspects of our first round. So we chose 300, seemed like a pretty logical supply. But I will be able to answer the frequency of that buy. The goal would be to just have it be on a marketplace eventually, and have you just buy it when you're ready. But for now, we'll as we finish this global deployment, we'll have to do it in a kind of an order fashion. But I'm anticipating relatively soon that we'll be able to do more of a marketplace type of approach where you can just order it.
So if you are you have your own node business, and you have it listed on the marketplace, do you, the entrepreneur, set those fees, or are they set by VITREUS?
Taylor, do you want to take that one?
Yep. So the delegation marketplace, I think we're still working on the name. But overall, if you decide to start up as a node operator entrepreneur, you will be in charge of your node. So it's your node. You can set the terms within your smart contract, the duration, the values you're going to pay out, et cetera, et cetera. That's up on you. Yep.
Okay. So one of the questions that we already covered is, what is the minimum amount to stake or run a node? And we said that is 1 VTRS. To follow up on that, we had someone ask, is there a risk identified with only needing so little VTRS to operate a node validator? No,
we're not. So you have to have that cyber ID to have a vNode and purchase one. So we feel really good about the intention of the folks that will be participating in this program. I don't anticipate some of the headaches that you would have with a public blockchain where somebody pseudo-anonymous can come in and try to write in a bad record or anything like that. Another aspect of this ecosystem is it's zero trust, and we are able to monitor that. Our infrastructure itself will be backed into technologies and networks that have DDoS mitigation and many other cybersecurity mitigation principles. That's just a part of the design. And it doesn't mean it's going to address everything, but the reputation of the vNode operators is already very, very strong. So I expect it to be a very high intention group.
All right, let me see. So so back to the entrepreneur questions. Can the owner of a node change their fee during the lock period after tokens have been staked? Taylor.
No, it's a smart contract, right? You're setting up a smart contract. You're launching, essentially, think about it like a staking pool, right? This staking pool offers this reward for this duration. What do you agree? Yes, I agree. Okay, let's do it, right? So once it's rolling, it's rolling, and that's how it's going to be until it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a question in here. Will the VApp have reporting functionality to help holders meet their tax reporting needs? Taylor?
We got a lot of fun stuff planned for the V app. That particular functionality does exist, but it won't be for phase one. It will be down the road when we get there. The V app isn't a small project, so we got innowise is on it. They're going to have fun with it. But to answer this question specifically, not for phase one, but soon.
Yeah,
yes.
It's been designed and accounted for in what's called the development cycle. It's just a matter of time to get everything built.
Yes. Pay your taxes. Consult.
Always pay your taxes. Talk to a professional.
Talk to a professional. We're not tax professionals.
No, absolutely not.
Blockchain professionals, but
yes.
All right, let's see. All right, here's one. What happens if I stake on someone else's node and unforeseen events disable or somehow offline that node? What happens?
That's a great question, right? And a huge concern. If everybody's self-hosting and somebody's house blows up and so does their vNode, then how do I get out of that? Forward thinking would suggest that the smart contract has some kind of termination logic wherein the node is offline for 3 days. Everybody's free to just exit, free of charge because something bad happened, right? These are disaster recovery efforts that we will continue to consider. It's a great question.
Yeah, and we also, we want this to be distributed, right? So there's some potential technology implications there where we could offer some sort of cloud aspect that might be an additional cost to the vNode in time for that. But we would more than likely learn from that as we deploy these and seek obviously the validators themselves for ideas and then come up with a couple processes. But to Taylor's point, you've got smart contract logic, and then you've got some disaster recovery logic, and then you've got some cloud possibilities. We just want to see the economics first before we decide on a path.
Okay. Next question is our nodes repairable or upgradable? Will they need like software updates, those types of things?
Very good question. So these are what we are going to be called fully managed appliances. We will be maintaining these. So you will literally plug it in. It's plug and play. We will be pushing updates to them, as Alex mentioned earlier on the call. We will not be upgrading these. These are not to be tampered with in that regard. We will consider possible upgrades in memory, but as I mentioned, the CPU mark of these nodes is quite high. It actually exceeds most of the current layer 1 network's minimum requirements, and the memory is double, and the storage capacity is almost triple. So we feel really good about the fact that it's going to be more distributed. Now, as far as support goes, there will be support. If your vNode goes down or if there's an issue, there will be a way to replace it. It will have more than likely a 3-year warranty and something like that. So yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take a few from the chat now. Any information on how and when we will get our cyber IDs?
Yeah. Taylor, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So cyber ID is broken up into two basic levels. The most basic being a network access credential, which allows you to come in, do a basic KYC, and then have access to the DeFi chain, right? With this network access credential, you can then upgrade it to a full self-sovereign ID within our ecosystem and use that to access expanded product offerings, such as hosting yourself as a node operator, entrepreneur, or maybe connecting to other companies attached to our chain, connecting to their products, as Tim mentioned before. So the cyber ID itself is an ecosystem-bound self-sovereign ID that you control in your wallet. And the most basic element of that is the network access credential, which is just a simple KYC, which you would do anyways if you wanted to onboard into any kind of wallet, any kind of central exchange, etc. So
yes.
basically you set up with VApp, and you're just ready to go in the Vitreous ecosystem from any element you could probably want.
Yeah, it'll be ready at product launch for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so that'll be part of the V app. Whenever you get your V app, you'll
Yep.
do your.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. The next question is, how will the TPS transaction speed compare to some of the larger chains or competitors? Do we have that information yet?
We do. We are expecting it to be a lot faster. Again, a lot faster because we are able to intentionally design this in a way that is, and this is one of our differentiators. It's just superior. And even the way the network itself is going to translate, we've got optimizations in a lot of places. So I would say a couple multipliers faster than what you're used to.
Yeah, Alexander or Andrew, want to add anything to that?
Yes, I can say that, because it will be a parachain ecosystem also, we can divide some loads to the different parachains, for example, and, business load will not, pressure to the public ecosystem. And because of it, we combine two different point of views to in one, and it will work. Yeah, for sure. We will calculate and testing how fast it will be, but it will be fast, really.
Yeah, really fast.
Yeah, I can add a few words. So, yes, Andrew mentioned we will build a lot of different specific parachains, and you can consider this as some kind of shards within other blockchains, so you can shard the workload and shard the data. And here's also in terms of the power grid itself, because it's mostly related to this like energy management, etc. It will be optimized for these specific needs, and then all the easiest interoperability, which we mentioned already, will allow us to spread the load across different chains and different nodes, etc.
Well said.
All right. We have one that says, is there a cap on the amount of nodes that we will sell?
Eventually, we'll look at that. Like, for example, Ethereum has roughly 1,800 nodes, so we would want to balance, get to a balance where eventually the chain itself is truly decentralized and operated in a quorum where we're not, we at Vitreous will obviously get this off the ground, but the goal would be to get it to where it's truly decentralized and the community is running the chain.
Okay, and is there a cap on how many nodes that each person can have?
You can have one vNode per person, per Cyber ID.
There you go. Yep, one per Cyber ID.
Okay, let me go back over here to these other questions. Jumping between question platforms. There was one. Okay, if someone were to choose to stake on someone else's node, would it delegate his voting power at the same time? Will there be a voting power? Or have we talked about that?
I don't know. Andrea, Alex, I don't know if we've determined that yet, have we?
I think that both options are possible. Yeah, and because we also want to build some decentralized application for managing staking. It's also like one of the possible projects that we additionally will implement. But yes, for sure, if you run your own vNodes, you will get voting power. On other hand, if you stake your VTRS on some other nodes, it's you can provide some advice, maybe what's preferable for you. Yeah, for now, it's the stage when we can get some ideas from the communities and implement it. It's
Yeah,
possible.
sure.
I could say a few words also about that. So our ecosystem supports pretty cool feature called proxy accounts, where you can like create a proxy account, and this proxy account can do something on behalf of another user, and you can actually define what is possible within this proxy account. You can delegate the voting power. You can even delegate some using bounties or some other specific, but you are not like under some security risk. In this case, you can just control which operation can be done under this proxy account.
That is a very cool feature, Alex. Thank you.
Okay. I see a lot of people asking how much the vNodes are going to cost. We touched on that earlier. It will not be thousands. It will be hundreds. As soon as we have the exact dollar amount from Shift, we will share that out. We're still nailing down the final number. So
yeah.
I think that's all we have for questions. That's like kind of the biggest one that I've seen a lot of. I've checked all of it everywhere. I don't see any other questions. Is there anything that you guys want to hit on before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would say, this is just the beginning. We're very excited about the foundation we're building, and we're really going to be asking the community for feedback after we do, release this. Chad, I saw Chad had a good comment. Come across the wire. There will be different vNode types in time. They will change. They will become more powerful. So this will evolve with the community, and we want to evolve with the community as it happens. As we said, VITREUS, we're very transparent. It's what our name and our symbol means, and I am just really happy to get back in front of you all with these exciting updates and be a small part of what we're building. So.
We have to throw Tim into the spotlight sometimes because I haven't got him on Twitter yet, so still working on that. Taylor or Andrew or Alexander, is there anything that you guys want to wrap up with?
I'm excited for this vNode rollout, getting that sorted, and the possibility of different vNodes in the future.
Right. I just want the prettiest one. That's all I think.
We'll make you a special one, Jaron.
Yes, I want a purple.
Okay.
Andrew or Alexander?
I think that's it from our side. Yeah, we're really excited to join such big project because, yeah, I totally agree that it will change some gaming rules in the in this field, and that's great. That's cool. It's something that we will put in our resume after.
Oh yeah, after. This is a resume.
We did it.
Yeah, I agree.
Alexander?
Yeah, I can just repeat that I'm really excited working with VITREUS again. So I'm a solution architect. I'm really in my life working on the challenging projects. And that after 20 years of experience, a lot of stuff is boring, but we get completely fresh, excited project, and we are proud to work with VITREUS and on this really cool project. So this is great, and we are glad to be here.
I couldn't agree more. I also want to say how much we appreciate innowise as a partner. I couldn't imagine a better partner for myself and Taylor and the tech team here. We're just very grateful to have your expertise and your passion in our project as well. So that's very mutual.
Okay, I did see one question pop up. I'm gonna knock this one out really quick before we close up. It says, for those of us who want to support VITREUS, but we are not crypto savvy, how can we convey this revolutionary opportunity to others? Alexis, great question. To that point, I invite you to jump into our Discord and into our Telegram. We have an amazing community there, amazing community leaders. I had mentioned earlier, we have just brought brought onto our team Drew, who is our director of community education. He is going to be working on some great tools to share and kind of simplify our message. We would love to sit down and talk with you. Core team's in there all the time, answering questions, giving feedback, listening to feedback, those types of things. So hop in, spend some time with us. We'd love to help you, understand our vision better so you can
Reach
share.
out to us. Absolutely reach out to us, please.
Yes, we would love to have you. So to that note, I want to say thank you to Andrew and Alexander. You guys are awesome. We love innowise. I am not the tech mind, but I love watching the thread of you guys talking all the time, and y'all are just really, truly inspirational to watch working with our tech team. It's really cool. So thank you guys for taking some time to come and hang out with us in the community. Thank you for Tim and Taylor for, hanging out with us as well. As I said, you can hop into our Telegram or Discord. We have socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you think, we've probably got it. You can come find us. We'd love to interact with you and help you understand VITREUS, and we'd love to see you share the news of VITREUS to those around you who may be interested. So we do have another AMA coming up next week. I have not nailed down the time yet, so as soon as we have that, we will share it out for everyone. Be on the lookout for our upcoming presale on the 17th, and that will be your next opportunity to get your hands on some VITREUS tokens. So thank you.
I have the prototype up here, Jaron.
He's got his little.
Here's the first V-Node prototype. So there it is.
I want mine prettier. So thank you guys for coming out today. We'll talk to you all soon. Come and hang out with us, and we can't wait to connect with you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you. Bye.
Bye, guys.